Clooney lay with one good eye half open. From beneath its slitted lid he watched Sella the vixen. The sly old devil was definitely up to something. He was certain of it. Clooney had secretly questioned Fangburn about the conversation that had gone on between Sella and her son. There was no doubt about it. The foxes were trying to dupe the warlord. Clooney had cursed Fangburn for 20 different kinds of an idiot. Fancy not being able to read and allowing Sella to write out a message. Imagine letting Chickenhound go free without first getting the scroll read. If he had been a little fitter, he would have personally slain his oafish captain. But as it was, Clooney kept silent about it all. Even if Sella was playing a double game, he needed the fox's healing powers to regain his health and strength. Meanwhile, Clooney the Scourge made his own counter-espionage moves. He allowed Sella to minister to his wounds, but he secretly stopped taking the herbs and potions to help him sleep. Early next morning, Chickenhound returned. He carried a bag laden with medicinal ingredients. Clooney feigned sleep, but secretly he observed the foxes closely. They nodded and winked at each other quite a bit. When they were reasonably sure he was asleep, the two held a hurried, whispered conversation. And though unfortunately he could not hear what they said, their behavior was secretive enough to make Clooney sure he was right. They were planning a double cross. Clooney did not tell any of his officers of his suspicions. He kept everything to himself. This way, there would be no possible leak of secret. Clooney was content to watch and wait, getting a little stronger each day. Then, after a while, he came up with a fiendishly simple idea. He ordered that the room be cleared. He wished to be alone so that he could rest. When he was quite sure that he would not be disturbed, Clooney took a quill and parchment from beside the table. He drew a diagram, complete with pointing arrows, horde positions, lines of attack and defense, together with written instructions. It was a plan for the second full-scale invasion of Redwall Abbey. Clooney made it clear that the success of the attack depended solely on the battering ram breaking through the main gate. When he had finished writing, Clooney pushed the parchment under his pillow, taking care to leave just a small corner of it jutting out. His officers would be too slow and dull to notice it, a tiny scrap of parchment showing from beneath the pillow. Even if they should, they would attach no importance to it, but Sella the fox would. Clooney settled down to wait. Redtooth and Fangburn returned with their captive guest an hour later. Clooney stretched himself luxuriously and yawned aloud. Ah, I had a peaceful nap without you three clattering about the room and creating a noise. How's that tree felling coming along? Redtooth leaned upon his spear. Shouldn't take much longer now, Chief. I've ordered some of them to get a good blaze going so that the trunk can be fired and hardened. Clooney flexed his injured tail slowly. Good. Make sure that all the large branches are cut off close to the trunk. It'll make it easier to carry. Now, Fox, how about changing these bandages and giving me something to make me sleep tonight? That stuff you gave me yesterday wasn't much use. I was tossing and turning for hours before I got any rest. Sella made a sweeping, servile curtsy. Now that my son has brought my new ingredients, I can certainly give you medicine to make you sleep, sir. I guarantee you'll go off like a bug in a blanket, if you pardon the expression, sir. Just as long as it gets me to sleep, said Clooney, smiling inwardly. That night, Clooney allowed Redtooth and Fangburn to guzzle their fill from a cask of barley wine that had been found in the church cellars. He gave Sella permission to drink also. Clooney watched as the fox pretended to drink as much of the barley wine as the rat captains. While she was doing this, Clooney also pretended to take his sleeping medicine. Clooney and Sella continued with their pantomime, neither letting a drop pass their lips. It was late night. Clooney joined in the snores of his drunken officers. The room was comfortably warm. A lone candle flickered in its socket. Clooney felt the pillow move slightly. Sella was taking the bait. Clooney gave a big imitation snore and smacked his lips contentedly. Someday he must learn to play chess. He bet himself that he would be unbeatable. Clooney also made a wager with himself that the plans would be back, safely tucked under the pillow by morning, and that Sella would have an accurate copy of them hidden away somewhere. Now he could catch a few hours' sleep. No doubt the mice would be interested to learn of his scheme to attack the main gate with a battering ram. They would strengthen the gatehouse and deploy the main body of defenders in the immediate area. Clooney could have laughed out loud. While they were defending the gate, he would be tunneling under the southwestern corner of the Abbey wall.